This is big breaking emergency news. We are now seeing a nationwide stand down, of U.S. military aircraft inside the United States. This is what's being announced. Army aircraft and National Guard aircraft are being affected by this right now. We're having a nationwide stand down. Flights are being grounded, and the Pentagon is issuing a warning, and top generals are warning as well, right? So this is very serious for our country. We've also lost multiple U.S. service members in the past few weeks as well. Multiple people have lost their life, National Guard members, and this is due to aircraft mishaps and aircraft crashing domestically inside the U.S. with National Guard members, and they are worried that there is potentially a security risk or a safety risk that could be going on with our nation's helicopters and our nation's aircraft. All right, so this is very serious. We also have lots of big breaking news coming out of Texas right now. This is now the second largest fire in Texas history. There are mass evacuations going on. There are major power outages in northern Texas, okay? And the military is not going to be able to respond to this. The National Guard is not going to be able to respond to this with their helicopters, which are critical for this fire. So something's going on. This is crazy that this is happening at the same time. The second biggest supposedly wildfire fire in Texas history, all right? It's overnight, it's doubling in size, all right? This thing is massive, and I was covering it earlier today. But this is critical because the National Guard, they cannot respond with their helicopters and with their planes to have aerial supports and water support for these major fires right now. Nationwide, the National Guard, their flights are being grounded. There's a nationwide stand down. So this is huge that this is happening. The timing of this is terrible. And this could be something bigger. This could be some kind of compromise inside of our security for our aircraft in the United States, right? Major issue, and they are worried that this is affecting the Army as well, because the National Guard is a part of the Army, and they have grounded certain Army flights as well. So let's get into this news here, and really quick, please hit it up for me down there. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated on what's going on, this big news in our country. But you can see here, this is the headline. It says, Army National Guard directs aviation stand down to review safety procedures after deadly crash. It says the director of the Army National Guard has ordered an aviation safety stand down for all Army National Guard helicopter units, meaning helicopter units will stop flying to, quote, review safety policies and procedures. The National Guard announced on Tuesday, just yesterday, this is happening. This is huge because this fire just broke out Monday night as well. Just got massive over the past 48 hours. Now it's burning millions of acres. It's covering hundreds of square miles, and it's on track to be the biggest one in Texas history in northern Texas. All right, so this is massive that the National Guard cannot respond with helicopters now, which would be one of their main lines of defense to stop these fires. It went on to say the stand down went into effect on Monday. It was announced on Tuesday, publicly went into effect Monday, following 2 helicopter crashes this month. A National Guard official said the stand down would be completed when the units finish their review. And the Pentagon is even warning about this as well. It seems like they are worried about the U.S. military Air Force, right? And if you remember, actually, there was a major cyber attack on Boeing a few months ago. I've been reporting on it, been bringing it up for months now. This major cyber attack, I broke that probably back in October. All right, so we are now potentially seeing the ramifications of this. It goes on to say the stand down went into effect on Monday following 2 helicopter crashes this month. A National Guard official said the stand down would be completed when the units finish their review, right? So they're doing a full-scale review of all the helicopters to make sure that they are safe. This is very serious, very unusual that this is happening as well. It says, quote, "We are a combat force with helicopters training or on a mission worldwide every single day," Lieutenant General John Jensen, director of the Army National Guard, said in a news release, quote, "Safety is always at the top of our minds. We will stand down to ensure all of our crews are prepared as well as possible for whatever they're asked to do." Right? So very strange this is happening, and there could be something bigger going on behind the scenes. The announcement comes just days after two Mississippi National Guardsmen, Chief Warrant Officer for Brian Andrew Zemek and Chief Warrant Officer for Derek Joshua Abbott, were killed when their AH-64 Apache helicopter crashed during a training flight. All right, this just happened a few days ago. Also, in a separate incident in Utah earlier this month, two pilots were injured but survived in a crash involving a AH-64D Apache helicopter. The aviation standout comes as the U.S. military is also in a fleet-wide V-22 Osprey standdown. All right, so also the Osprey helicopters are in a stand-down right now with the U.S. military fleet-wide. Very serious. Something's going on. And that's following a deadly CV-22 crash off the coast of Yakushima Island in Japan in December. So something is going on with our U.S. military, extremely concerning, and to see this stand down with the National Guard while we are having these emergencies in Texas as well is a crisis and is unacceptable. And I'm worried that they are not going to be able to respond to these fires properly, and they could spread to Oklahoma. All these different states are in danger right now, right? It looks like the wind is blowing east. It's in North Texas, the Panhandle, and it could blow into Oklahoma, could blow up into Kansas, potentially, right? So very serious situation. The National Guard needs to be able to have their helicopters nationwide stand down, right? The Pentagon is also worried about this as well. They have issued a warning. They are saying they're concerned about this. And on Tuesday, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was asked if he had any concerns about the Army's aviation program. And he responded through Pentagon spokesman Major General Pat Ryder and said, quote, "Safety is something that we are always going to be concerned about and take seriously." He went on to say, quote, "You will see senior leadership making safety a priority, as evidenced again by the fact that the National Guard Bureau recognizes, hey, we need to take a moment here to stand down, review safety procedures and processes, and make sure we can look each other in the eye and go out there and do our mission safely," Ryder said. Quote, "So the Secretary is confident in the service secretaries and chiefs and their leadership in terms of addressing safety concerns." All right, so he's just saying that he backs him up. He agrees that there's potential safety concerns, and he agrees with these generals and these leaders issuing these warnings and these stand downs. So even the Pentagon is involved. The Army is having their Ospreys grounded too right now. Fleet-wide stand down. This is very serious, and this is a national security issue and threat for our country that we cannot respond to these critical emergencies domestically, especially with the National Guard. Major issue right now. All right, so please hit it up for me down there. Hit that like, hit that sub. I'm posting every day, keeping you guys updated. This is big news here, right? Especially with what's going on in Texas. This fire is over 500 square miles in size. It's spreading quickly, and the National Guard needs to be able to respond to it quickly as well, and they are not going to be able to, right? So make sure you're getting prepared. Pray for Texas. This is a big crisis there, and having a nationwide grounding is huge, right? So thank you guys, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.